And for wrongfully convicted American citizens imprisoned in a foreign country, freedom is a feeling that may never come. Around a few dozen Americans are released back to the U.S. every year, but that's often the end of the story. For one Tacoma man we've been following over the past 14 years, exoneration was just the beginning. And after all these years, Jason Puracal may have just received the vindication he needs. And we've learned that his efforts may help free others who are wrongfully imprisoned, just like him.
It's been over 10 years, and I'm still trying to put the pieces back together. It's been so hard.
Okay, everybody grab water, We're gonna do 1v1.
Jason Puracal is living a life today he once thought would never come. In 2010, he was living in Nicaragua selling real estate when his home was raided by armed police officers. Jason was charged with helping a local drug cartel, despite the fact no drugs or money was ever found. But a judge sentenced him to 22 years in a maximum security prison.
It's a very violent, dirty place, and the conditions in the Nicaraguan prison were hell. I mean, I was usually in a 12-foot by 15-foot cell with 9 to 12 other guys. There's no running water.
With little to no contact with his wife Scarlett and son Jabu, all hope felt lost.
My brother Jason Puracal was arrested by the Nicaraguan National Police on November 11th.
But Jason's sister Janice devoted her life to prove her brother's innocence. His case drew the attention of human rights advocates and U.S. lawmakers. And after nearly 2 years in prison, Jason was freed in 2012. The nightmare was over.
And I still celebrate the day that I was released from prison. However, that's when the real hard work began for me of rebuilding my life.
And his legal team, Seattle University human rights law professor Tom Edikawiak and Jason's sister Janice.
When Jason walked out of prison, that was the moment we could all breathe. And then I turned around to my husband and said, let's do this for other people.
In December, the Inter-American Commission ruled that Jason's human rights were violated. Nicaragua must now provide financial compensation to Jason, conduct a criminal investigation of those responsible for his arrest, and initiate legal reform to limit pretrial detention like his.
The case was so clear, and Jason and his family are so committed, I think, to social justice within Nicaragua, that I think the case became very compelling.
Wrongful convictions is not a us versus them problem. This is not a Nicaragua problem. A big part of this ruling is the recognition that innocent people are in prison all over the world and that we have to do more for that.
The decision is vindication Jason was hoping for.
Whether you're wrongfully or rightfully imprisoned, there's a stigma that follows you around, and it's so hard to convince people that I had nothing to do with the crimes. Again, this ruling by the commission, it feels like a weight is taken off of my shoulders.
Let's see it, Soren.
Today, he's taking full advantage of his new lease on life.
There you go, good drag.
A father, a coach, a free man. The new ruling also clears the way for others to find freedom too.
The hardest part about being in prison was being torn away from my family. I feel like it is my obligation to try to use the little privilege that I have in life and this court ruling, or the commission ruling, to try to affect change, positive change.
There you go.
Now, Nicaragua does not appear to be complying with the reparations required from this new commissioner's ruling, so Jason and his legal team are taking their case to the Inter-American Court of Human Rights, the highest human rights authority in the Americas. We'll, of course, keep you posted. We've been following his story, as you remember, Mimi, for 14 years now.
Does he have any plans to return to Nicaragua at this point?
No, because he was deported at the time, actually, but he is committed to changing life for others there in Nicaragua, hoping for societal change. He remembers a few inmates that he was with in position just like his. He's hoping to see them freed. Interesting, too, real quick, Janice, his sister, knew nothing about international law before her brother was imprisoned. She's now formed a nonprofit called the Forensic Justice Project. They've now freed 6 other people that were in similar cases like his. So she's a story, too.
There's some good that came out of this situation.
For sure.